1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey there, it's Aaron Jackson coming to you today with a lesson that's a little different here. We're going to be talking about bluegrass rhythm playing today. And so I had initially thought about making this one really long lesson here, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to small chunk some of these rhythm lessons up, and this is going to be the first one out of several that I'm going to be uploading here, where we kind of go into the details and really cover the basics of bluegrass rhythm playing. But what I want to talk about today, I just want to give you 5 basic bluegrass strumming patterns that you can implement immediately in your rhythm playing, and I really think you're going to get a lot out of these. So again, hit the link down below to get the tabs for this lesson, and let's go ahead and start. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to show you these 5 basic strumming patterns just on a G, and then after that we're going to go through a G, C, and a D chord progression. Okay, so let's start with the first one here. This is like our basic boom chuck rhythm here. We're going to do. Okay, and so on G right there, I'm going to hit the 6th string, and then I'm going to strum. I'm basically hitting the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings, and then I'm going to hit the 4th string and do the same thing. Okay? Okay. And that's just separating those lows and highs, giving that just a little bit of a bounce there. So again, on G, just that basic boom chuck rhythm. Okay, so I wanted to start off with that pattern, but I'm going to be honest with you, I really don't use that one a whole lot. I mean, unless, in my opinion, unless you were going for like a very like deliberate, like old school retro sound, I'm talking like kind of Carter family or like first generation bluegrass sound, I don't really use the boom chuck rhythm just a whole lot. Now sometimes it might work if you're like sitting around with another guitar player, but I did want to go ahead and start off with that because the other strumming patterns will build from that. So let's go to the next one here, and it's going to go like this. We're going to do. So with this one, it's like boom, chuck, boom-a, chucka. Okay? Boom, chuck, boom-a, chucka, boom, chuck, boom-a, chucka, boom, chuck. And the way I'm doing that on a G is so we'll do boom, chuck, like we did a second ago, down on that 6th string, strum 4th, 3rd, and 2nd, and then we're going to do, and that's down and up on the 6th, 5th, and 4th strings, and then down and up on the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st strings. I love this strumming pattern. It's one of the strumming patterns I use the most, and you can honestly, if you'll just apply that pattern to your rhythm playing, I think that can cover a lot of ground in this style. It just it's a great rhythm pattern in that it separates those lows and highs and also gives your rhythm playing a little bit of a bounce, and it gives it some drive. Okay, I love that rhythm pattern there. It's great. I use it all the time. Again, that's boom chuck, boom a chuck, boom chuck, boom a chuck. Okay. Okay, so let's go to this next pattern here, and what we're going to do on this one is, rhythmically speaking, it's going to be the same thing that we did on the previous example. We're going to do boom, chuck, boom, a chucka, but we're going to throw in some cross picking in there to just kind of spice up our rhythm playing a little bit. It's going to go like this. We're going to do. And so all we're doing there is we're going to do boom, chuck, just like we did in the first one, but then we're going to do, so we're going to do down on the fourth, up on the third, down on the second, up on the first. Okay? So it gives our rhythm playing a really, really clean and crisp sound while also giving it some bounce and some drive there. That's a great one to practice to. That one works really the best for songs that are really at more of like a moderate tempo. I don't typically use that when I'm playing, you know, tunes that are kind of getting fast or tunes that are really fast. But if you got tunes that are kind of at a moderate tempo that have some drive to them, you know, that rhythm playing style works really well. So let's go to the next one here, and it's going to go like this. We're going to do... Okay? So this one is booma chukka. It's just booma chukka, booma chukka, booma chukka, booma chukka. And what we're going to do on this is just do down and up on the 6th, 5th, and 3rd strings, and down and up on the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. And just repeat that. Great one to apply, you know, whenever, you know, if you're playing like what we would call like hard driving bluegrass, you know what I mean? If you listen to any of the, like the old Lonesome River Band stuff, especially like when Dan Tyminski was in the band, that kind of sound, this stuff works really well for that. That rhythm pattern works really well for stuff that like bluegrass that has like a lot of drive to it. Okay, so there's 4 basic strumming patterns there. Let's do one more here, and this next one is it's the rhythm pattern that I like to use anytime the tempo starts to get kind of fast, and for that, you know, kind of like above 120 to like 130 beats a minute. At that tempo or above, a lot of times I'll default to this one. And this one's going to go like this. We'll do like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And so what we're going to do on this, it's like boom, chukka, chukka, chuck. Boom, chukka, chukka. And on the boom, you can hit just the 6th string, or you can kind of hit the 6th, 5th, and 4th, and then chukka, chukka, chuck. That's mostly just on your higher strings. Boom, chukka, chukka, chuck. Boom, chukka, chukka, chuck. Okay? And what that does is it gives your rhythm playing some bounce and some drive, but it also lets it breathe a little bit. Because at those faster tempos, if I tried to come in and do like the 4th pattern, the booma chukka, it doesn't work. It would just sound frantic. You know, if I'm trying, but just that sounds out of control and frantic. But if we kind of give that pattern a little breathing room. Okay, then it works really nicely. So real quick, I'm going to play all 5 of those rhythm patterns with a backing track that just has like the bass and the mandolin chop in there, and I'll play rhythm over that. So I'm going to go through all 5 of those rhythm playing patterns with a backing track. Now sound like this.
1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4.
All right, so you can really take those 5 patterns and just start applying that to the chord changes that you're playing in, bluegrass songs or fiddle tunes. But I wanted to go ahead and go through just a basic G, C, and a D chord progression and apply those strumming patterns to like the whole chord progression there. Okay, so let's start here. We'll do just our basic boom chuck rhythm here. We'll do so boom. On C, we'll alternate that bass line to D. Okay. So now let's go to the next one here, and we're going to do our boom chuck booma chucka rhythm, okay, through G, C, and D. So on the G, boom chuck, booma chucka, boom chuck, booma chucka. We can go to C and we'll do boom chuck, booma chucka. I'm doing that alternating bass line, boom chuck, booma chucka, boom chuck. Okay, boom chuck, booma chucka, boom chuck. And then on D, boom. So I'm hitting the 4th string, boom chuck, booma chucka. Kind of just hitting that 5th string for the booma chucka, and then back to G. All right, so one more time, boom chuck booma chucka rhythm through G, C, and D. We'll do the third one here, and we'll do boom chuck booma chucka, but we'll do it with the cross picking, okay? And so we'll do that again. So that's just boom, chuck, and on C, you can do this C, or you can do the old like Tony Rice C9, C add 9, sus2, whatever you want to call it. But again, just boom, chuck, still picking that 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. We'll go to D, back to G. Let's do our booma chucka kind of driving rhythm through G, C, and D, and we'll do. I'll do it again. Okay. So just booma chucka. I guess I'm doing that 4 times on each chord. And again, you can go to the Tony Rice C, or you can do just the old school C here and do. On that one, I'll do the alternating bass, just boot. And when I'm doing that, I'm just kind of hitting the 5th and 4th strings, and so when I alternate it right there, it's like 6, 5th, and 4th. It doesn't have to be completely accurate, because when we're playing rhythm, the feel, the kind of bounce, the drive, and the rhythm is more important than the accuracy of the notes you're hitting. But that's just a general rule to go by. And then on D, just so it's like I'm hitting the 4th string, boom-a-chugga, and then the 5th string, boom-a-chugga. Back to G. Okay, so one more time, our boom-a-chugga driving rhythm through G, C, and D. Now let's do our kind of fast driving rhythm, the boom chugga chugga chuck rhythm through G, C, and D, and that'll go like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that's just boom chugga chugga chuck. I'm going to this C, boom, chugga, chugga, chuck, boom, chugga, chugga, chuck, to D, boom, chugga, chugga, chuck, boom, chugga, chugga, chuck, back to G, boom, chugga, chugga, boom, chugga, chugga, chuck. Okay. So now, same deal here. I'm going to play each of these rhythm patterns, each of these strumming patterns, along with a backing track that just has the bass and the mandolin chop, so you can kind of hear how this stuff sounds in context.
1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so there we have it. If you will permit me just some like parting words of wisdom. This is like the Jerry Springer monologue at the end of the show. One of the things that you want to avoid when playing bluegrass rhythm is what I would refer to as a lack of awareness. We've all experienced rhythm guitar players that have a lack of awareness. Maybe some of us have been the rhythm guitar players with a lack of awareness. Here's what I mean by that. I think all of us have been to a jam session where there might be one guitar player or 8 who are all playing rhythm like this. You know you have. You know you have. It sucks. It is obnoxious. And it's a lack of awareness. Now, if you're wanting to do that just to have fun, if you're wanting to do like a bluegrass punk thing and it's all about the energy, that's fine. But if you're wanting to play with other people, have it sound good, have the other instruments and singers be heard, I would just recommend listening. That's one of the most important things for a rhythm player, because I guess what's so different about rhythm playing than lead playing, I mean the technicalities obviously, but when you're playing rhythm, you're not the star of the show, okay? When you're playing rhythm, you should be making sure that whatever is leading, whether that's another instrument doing a lead break, whether that's a singer, maybe you're maybe you're singing while you're playing, you want to make sure that whatever is leading can be heard and that what you're doing is complementing that. to boil it down here, that usually means playing quieter. Not always. Like if I'm at a jam or something like that, and let's say like a banjo player goes to like play a break, I'll play a little bit louder. Because the banjo is a really loud instrument, and depending on the banjo player, some people play louder than others. Same deal with a fiddle. But if there's like a mandolin player playing a break, I want to bring that down. Especially too, if there's someone singing, you want to make sure you can hear every single word that singer is singing, and that what you're doing is not overpowering that. So that usually means playing quieter and just listening to what's going on around you. You know, having an awareness of that, and then taking these strumming patterns here, you know, and kind of working through those, seeing which one of them fit certain songs, I think will really, really, really take your rhythm playing to the next level. It will help you to enjoy playing this music a lot more, and it will make you a better musician. Other people will enjoy playing with you more, and yeah, your whole experience of playing this music, I think, will be improved significantly. And also too, it's definitely the case for me. And I remember when I was a teenager, I went to see Ricky Skaggs, and this is when Clay Hess was playing in the Skaggs band way back in like the early 2000s. And I was able to talk to him after the show, and, you know, I'm asking him about, you know, licks and how to play fast and, you know, who he listens to and all that kind of stuff. And he told me, he goes, man, I'll be honest with you. He goes, I have more fun playing rhythm than I do lead. Like I didn't believe him. But after doing this for a long time, just a lot of times playing rhythm guitar is just more fun than playing lead. So I just wanted to kind of send off with some parting words there. But again, remember, if you're playing rhythm with other people, make sure that whatever's leading, that you can really, really, really hear that. That usually means playing quieter. And just having some awareness, just listening to what's going on around you, and avoid the... I don't recommend that. I don't recommend it. But anyway, so again, I've got lots more videos because there's a lot of ground in here that I didn't cover today. I didn't talk about like bass note runs and chord substitutions. But so I've got several more rhythm videos here where I'm going to cover that ground, and we can kind of put all of this stuff together. But I've had a lot of people asking me about this, so I wanted to go ahead and just start you off here. 5 basic strumming patterns on G and through G, C, and D, and you can start working on those today, and I really think that you'll find that your rhythm playing will sound a lot better by using these. So again, hit the link down in the video description to get the tabs for this, and I will see you next time.